So basically, I became involved because in the past I helped oversee system change with other healthcare institutes. So they brought me on board to help with ideas and improvements for a better smoke-free policy. As we already know, University of Miami became smoke-free August 1st, 2013, if I'm not mistaken. And before that, they had designated smoking areas. But there is still a need because you do see faculty members as well as students and general community members that tend to use tobacco products. So the Be Smoke Free program works with AHEC and Tobacco Free Florida by offering our completely free class program, which is 6 weeks long in length. It meets an hour a week at the University of Miami's Patty and Allen Wellness Center, as well as the Medical Campus Wellness Center, twice a week in both campuses. That way we provide free group counseling as well as a month's supply of nicotine replacement therapy. Nicotine replacement therapy can be bought as well over the counter at CVS, Walgreens, Walmart. They come in many different forms. One of the forms which we provide are the nicotine patches, as well as there's the nicotine gum and nicotine lozenge.
And students that join, or faculty, or anyone that decides to join this program, how is the process for them to quit?
Okay, so basically, the whole 6 week program, how it works, because I would say we're all creatures of habit in nature. To give up a habit, especially starting at the early teens, just to give it up in one day, it's kind of impossible to ask someone to do that because you have the psychological, you have the habitual habits as well. So the nicotine replacement therapy really helps with the withdrawal with the chemical portion of it, which we teach in class. So I'll go over the whole 6 week. For the first week, we talk about if tobacco is your friend or foe. Of course, all tobacco users would agree with me that tobacco is their best friend, but their bad best friend that's slowly killing them. So we try to prepare them the first week by establishing a quit date and helping them towards with reduction and habit change, being more aware of why they use it, what triggers, and how to cope with it, which goes with the second week, which is better managing addiction on why do you use it? Is it because of stimulation, relaxation, pleasure, craving, and so forth? We discuss that. We discuss helpful ways on to cope with it and to prepare them further and see how they're actually doing with habit change. So for example, if a tobacco user is right-handed, I advise them for the next few weeks to smoke with their left hand. And usually for a person that's right-handed to use your left hand for anything, it's not really their comfort zone. So we want to put them out of their comfort zone while using tobacco and making them aware that it is truly their bad best friend. Making them change habits. If they smoke in their car, get rid of all the ashtrays, lighters, and smoke in different certain areas, only 1 to 2 areas to limit them, as well as delaying the time of length of when they use tobacco. The third week goes with actually providing them nicotine replacement therapy and telling them the correct use of the nicotine replacement therapy so that way it's safe for them, as well as in the prior week 1 and 2, we always recommend to consult a healthcare provider if they have any physical history of using certain medications or counterindication with medication. And the fourth week, we talk about developing a plan without tobacco, which basically involves nutrition and physical fitness, which we always promote in the Wellness Center. And then the fifth week is stress management, relapse prevention for more motivation. And the last week is congratulating them as well as giving them other sources. As I stated, we work with Tobacco Free Florida, so we're the one in-person in-source, but they use the 3 free ways. So it's call, click, or in-person. In-person would be mine with the University of Miami's AHEC, which is the Area Health Education Center. The calling will be the Florida Quit line, which is 1-877 you can now, as well as the online resources, quitflorida.net if I'm not mistaken. So call, click, or in person.
And through this program, do you find that those that join quit over time?
Yes, I do see, because what happens is to actually consistently come to class and to actually see that you're not the only person that is having this nicotine addiction from tobacco products. As I say, nicotine addiction is the most highly addictive and scientifically proven to be more addicting than heroin, cocaine, and other substance abuse. we try to empathize in ways that there's other subtle addictions from the sugar or the caffeine or the salt. So we just want to make them more aware on how to better approach addiction, and for that you need the stages of change. So you want to move them from pre-contemplation to contemplating of change to preparing them to quit, directly taking action, how to better maintain it, and then of course having a longevity of termination. As well as there's relapse. That's what we talk about, relapse in the further classes. For those that do relapse, they're more than welcome to come back, call, or click.
And the policy has been on UM's campus for well over a year.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that many still do smoke on campus. Do you think there's enough enforcement, enough involvement to stop people from doing so, or not?
Well, what happens is I know everyone is busy from day-to-day activities. It's kind of in the link to tobacco is still the leading cause of preventable death in the U.S., the top leading cause. Just not just directly primary, but secondhand and third-hand smoke exposure use, which we discussed in class. The second leading cause, just to go off tangent, poor diet and physical inactivity. But when we see someone eating an unhealthy meal, we don't just go and grab, like if they're eating a piece of pie and say, hey, you're not supposed to eat it. Because, it's not the social norm to just go up to someone and say, you're not allowed to use tobacco. As the youth family, we should be helpful and be sensitive in that issue, saying, hey, it's such a lovely day today. And just strike up a conversation according to age group or faculty member, because students might see a faculty member, but they might be scared because they see that it's the dean, or the dean doesn't smoke, no one like that smokes, but say, for example, a faculty member, a professor, or someone that they know in law school, and they're like, if I go to them, they're not going to listen to me. So in a sense, you want to use motivational techniques, motivational interviewing techniques, which could be learned by just asking people open-ended questions versus saying, have you ever quit before? They'll be like, no, they won't listen to you. Have you ever heard of the Be Smoke Free program, which offers free aid and help, which provides free nicotine replacement therapy on site? So you want to make them ponder and think about all the free resources that we have.
On campus, there are no designated areas for smoking with this policy, right?
Correct. There's no designated areas prior to, I believe, August 1st, 2013. A year prior to that, there were designated areas to help with that change. So we don't just hit students hard and make them go into change. As you see, change happens with time. So we're hoping to progress in a more better smoke-free environment, as President Donna Shalala has reported on Evertas and all the marketing, saying that we're a family, so we should all work together to provide all these free resources, and to provide individuals on not just only the harms that they're directly giving to themselves, but those around them. And that's always a safety issue as well. Because just to think about a number, tobacco kills 400,000, upwards of 400,000 in the United States. Globally, it kills between 4 to 6 million. But then if you start looking at the secondhand smoke exposure rates, 60 to 70,000 people die in the United States alone. Globally, it's 600,000 individuals. So there's a lot of direct secondhand smoke exposure that could harm individuals.
Is it that we should follow these rules because we attend this university, or should we decide to still do so because it's what we want to do? We shouldn't have someone telling us. Should someone feel that way, or should they quit because, okay, it's a policy, I go here, I should follow it?
In a sense, everyone has the right, especially tobacco still being legal, and of course with politics and so forth, they'll stay legal. We're battling with the e-cigarettes, which I can always talk more about. E-cigarettes are also banned in the policy, but in a sense, everyone has the right to do whatever they choose, but they're looking at the overall student population and their health, just like how I told you, secondhand smoke exposure can cause a lot of health issues for a person that's asthmatic or has a poor immune system. If a peer is smoking around them and they get those direct effects, it could be harmful, not only for yourself, but for a student around you. So we just ask individuals, just for other safety as well as your own safety, to abide by policy, because you are in the U family. And of course, we want to help you. We don't want to hurt you.
And what would you say to someone that's interested in maybe attending your program, for them to come, to be a part of it and to actually help quit themselves to smoke?
I would say basically that this program is completely free. It's on campus. It's a free resource. So I would say free is better than cheaper, because cigarettes, of course, with the taxation, the prices aren't as cheap as 20 years ago. But money is the least of your worries. I would always say health is the most. And then just think about all those times that you use cigarettes or tobacco products, and those memories that you could have made, but you had to step away for a side. All those times and moments that you could have been with someone, with a group of friends, but just because of the addiction, you had to move away. So just basically, I would say tobacco is a bully, and just getting rid of that bully, because you have all the right choices and freedom to make everything. But even if you think deep down inside you, tobacco still controls you because of with the withdrawal, which we help with. We help with a lot of coping mechanisms. But remember, it's always your willpower and your choice. But with guidance, it really does help, and empathizing with a group of members.
Okay, Mr. Asad, I think your initiative here on campus is really great. I hope many people will take opportunity of this, and we hope that over time we can help reduce smoking habits, and even within ourselves that are really young, and that we shouldn't really be into smoking because of all the health problems it causes, all
Correct.
the issues. So I hope it really does motivate anyone that does smoke, that is wanting to quit, to definitely come out to your program.
Well, thank you. I hope so too. And I just wanted to share with you, this is what we have displayed. I don't actually have the lung displays because they're actual lungs, so it would be a little bit sensitive to have. But basically, this is a tar bottle. So it's a year worth of tar for a person that smokes half a pack a day, and how much tar accumulates in your body. So just think about the years and years. Even though you're a light smoker, that's still a lot. I always say, why put yourself in any harm? Because think about living your life, God forbid, with tobacco. It states it takes between 10 to 15 years of life. Only God gives you life, but the quality of life. Imagine having all those health-related issues: cancer, COPD, which is a chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, which is a combination of adult bronchitis and emphysema, heart conditions, cardiovascular problems, and many more things. It could affect your social life as well as many other aspects.
We hope definitely many do take advantage of this program and definitely become more interested in taking the action and quitting. So we thank you so much for your time, and I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. And if anyone has any more questions about the program, they can just simply go on miami.edu/besmokefree, or they can always call me at 305-243-7606. That's my direct line. I'm always available, as well as my email can be found online.
With that information, that would be really great. We hope definitely people get interested and definitely take further action and decide to quit such an unhealthy habit.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Mr. Asad, for your time.
Thank you very much.